made it to the builders. Now I just gotta go in and, you know, we'll see what's up and I can improve the top and the design and those types of things. But this is all a place where there's lots of crafters, so it should be pretty fun. See in there, lots of machine work for different stuff. You can see here, there's like a plasma cutter, CNC plasma, the paint booth, kind of stuff. But up we go. So here we are, we're at Clear Fabrications Incorporated, and this right here is the top of my aquarium. So it's basically 8 feet long, 4 feet, and then I'm here to proof before they start gluing or cutting or anything like that. That's what all these lines are. So like this line right here, this is going to be where a panel on the bottom, obviously, a 1-inch thick panel sits, and so I can see the reference points of like this is the span from the side of the aquarium to where the top, you know, like the opening is going to be, and they're going to round the corners and everything like that. But you can see here that it's going to be massive, and there's a few more things, like this is going to be a feeding port right here that we're going to have done, and there's a couple more things we're going to add, and I'll show you that in a bit. And then along the back here, basically starting from this corner, in every foot there is a 1-inch axis for 1-inch PVC, so for any plumbing, any cords, like if I want to put wave makers, anything like that in here, I gotta be able to get the cord out, right? And that's gonna go along this whole back, you know, so there's a lot of them. And yeah, so did you ever calculate how much this aquarium will weigh like empty? Because I lifted just one of these panels. This is one of the sides of the aquarium, and this is 1-inch thick, and I feel like it was like 80 pounds. Like I feel like that's what that was, but I mean it's not light, you know. It's awkward, but
closer to 60.
60 pounds. Well, we had to factor in my weak muscles, so.
I'll calculate.
All right, we're gonna get a calculation here. I'm gonna show you. So, you know, filtration. I'm going kind of a lot of different directions. I'm gonna do like an overhead filtration sump, which will be incorporated in, which they haven't started building yet. I'm also having. It fit for AquaClear 110s. You guys know I love those filters. I want to be able to do any kind of chemical filtration, any kind of fine polishing, any kind of, you know, anything I want, basically. And we're going to put, so the aquarium, if this was in my fish rooms, you guys know, this up here would be the front. This wall, or this side of it, is where we can put 2 or 3 hang-on backs right there. We can also, not that we're going to want to, but over here I want this big feeding port. And then I want another one kind of right here in the middle, and that's where we can feed like full sheets of 16-ounce brine shrimp, bloodworms, that type of thing. And then, yeah, so that's the plan. And now I just got to sign off on it, because once they start doing it, there's no going back for me, you know. And there's a lot of money being spent. There's a lot of acrylics. You can see here, this is the top. But if I go down a little bit here, you can see those are front and back panels there. They haven't obviously been worked much at all yet, so we figure out what this thing might weigh.
It'll be
empty.
It'll be about 500 pounds.
500 pounds empty. Whew! I gotta bring strong people.
Yep.
And you're thinking roughly done in about 2 weeks is when I need to have my crew of people ready to move this. And what's the steel stand gonna weigh? Like 1,000 pounds, or like?
It's gonna weigh double what?
Oh my God!
The tank.
How many pounds can the average human being move? Like, I'm thinking like I can move 100 pounds, but the stand I guess is not so worrisome, because like if you drop it, we're only lifting it like 1 inch. Like we can't drop this, so I'm just thinking, you know, if it's 1,000 pounds, we want like 10 people, because that's 100 pounds a person.
Yep.
So I need more than the 8 we were thinking. Yeah, because then this will be easy. The tank itself, 8 people or 10 people with 500 pounds, that's easy, but 10 people at 1,000 pounds, that's still 100 pounds, so.
It's more about the awkward size that you're lifting.
Right. Yeah, I'm hoping it's not going to be unbearable, but yeah, that's today. I gotta sign off, basically, sign my life away and go, hope you didn't want anything else, and you know, I think we've gone over most of it though. I'm going to double check everything, and then and then you can build.
It's going to be about 800 gallons when
Yeah.
it's all finished, and so there's 8.5 pounds per gallon.
Ooh, let me see if I can stroke my own ego. Is this the biggest tank this month?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Okay. Phew. Whew. All right. I didn't know. You're like, actually, next up is 1,700 gallon. Like, no. Yeah, because you guys were saying you might have to have more than 2 people to even like move it while you're building it, right? Like.
Yeah. We'll need probably 4. Good thing that there's lots of help running around.
Yeah. So that's part of what goes into building a big tank is. Even though you got 2 guys to do this all day long, they literally have to bring in muscle just to move and set up the next weld joint, and there's a lot of joints you got to weld. And I'm not envious of the work, but that's why I do other work, and then I pay you guys to do this. So, yeah. These are, I don't know, the biggest aquarium feet I've ever seen. These are, these are no joke. But we can get a wrench around this, and we can adjust this aquarium. Not full of water, obviously, but we want to get it level because my floor is not 100% level, and I was worried over time, 800 gallons of water plus 1,000-pound steel stand, that type of thing, with small feet could imprint into the concrete, but this will make sure it definitely doesn't. Like there's no give to those. So, yeah. I just love that these are even more heavy duty than the crane bolts we used on the 360 gallon.
Oh, for sure.
Nuts.
Yeah, so when you want to throw that tape measure? Yeah, when you, you're 35 1/4. With the 3/4 inch plywood, you'll be dead on at 36 with
Nice.
0.
It's almost like you planned that.
It just ends up like that
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. So here it is. This is the 800 gallon. Seeing it in person, I'm way more scared of it. Ordering it, I'm like, oh yeah, it'll be all right. It'll be not that big. But now I'm seeing it, and I'm, like I need like human beings. So like, this is me next to it. You can see it goes way above me, and you're thinking, okay, it's on a tall stand. Like that's as tall as the stand's pretty much going to be. So it's going to be mammoth. Like right now, it's technically on side, so it'll be a little bit shorter. But you can see how thick this acrylic is. You can see, basically, they had to put supports up above so that the acrylic wouldn't deflect at all while these joints were gluing. Because if it, let's say it sags a tiny little bit in the middle, this pocket over here would be off just even 1/64 of an inch. That's going to create stress when you fill this thing up with 800 gallons of water. But it's now I know why we're going to need like 10 people to move it. That's this is nuts. So do you have to go round up everyone in the building if you need to flip this to do the next joint or what?
We have in the past.
Yeah, because there's no way like this thing is wieldy. This is nutty.
And the little ends those are going to get trimmed off.
Yep.
It's just acrylic fabrication. The ends are trapped by the front and back.
Okay, yeah. So front and back on the outside, so to speak, yeah.
And then the top and bottom goes on like a sandwich, and those trap the front and back and the ends from moving. And with the material, 3/4 inch top that we have over here,
Yeah.
that's what we need for the span, 4-foot span. We have a nice thick web right here. Most production tanks, you'd probably have 3 or 4 tiny portholes. As a custom tank builder, and years ago when I did service, I vowed that if I ever could, I'd build tanks with large portholes in them. But these are engineered. They have large gussets machined out in the corners. This prevents any stress points and cracking. And the way we machine these portholes, it's a 3-pass type of a thing. First is a plunge cut, that induces a little bit of heat into the material, and we want to machine all that heat stressed
Oh wow.
material out of it, because heat stress will cause crazing.
Yeah.
And our tanks don't craze because we take all these steps. It takes way more time. A production tank builder that have these little portholes that you couldn't get a piece of driftwood in if you tried, and but these you could fit whatever
Yeah.
you could conceivably.
Yeah, there's like a standard.
This they would probably take. This is for like a 30-gallon tank, and they would just, okay, we'll put one here, you know, and
Yeah.
or maybe like this. You know, they don't have any creativity whatsoever. They have no. They're not Aquarius themselves, so they just.
Right, because you actually
Yeah,
you own
they-
tanks and stuff like that, so you
Yeah.
understand the usability of it.
Also, his mentioning about how we actually remove the heat stress material
Yeah, yeah.
on this tank, that doesn't get done. They actually flame polish directly where they cut at.
Yeah,
Right.
if you can see that, I don't know exactly where, but number one, it's a rough edge. It's just one pass,
Yep.
a tight radius. This is where any heat, or excuse me, stress would focus, and then
Yeah.
it'll crack the top, and then it'll go down the face, just because of the way the material is. But if you can feel that roughness,
Yeah, I can see it and the crazing. So I can get my camera to focus on it though. That's the hard part. Yeah. Oh wait. If I put there we go. If I put my hand behind it, that way it's not focusing on. But you can see all that crazing, and then it's real rough. Yeah, I get it.
And we don't flame polish anything here. If it's going to have an edge, we're going to hand sand it and polish it, and all of your seams will be hand sanded and polished.
Nice.
That way, it doesn't induce heat, stress into the material, and cause crazing.
Nice. And these are the custom tops here.
Yep. These are your porthole covers. Prevents fish from jumping. We went with a two-piece design because of the tank size.
Yep.
You'll be able to pull one half out
Yep.
and work with the tank, whether releasing lots and lots of fish or
Giant
feeding
wood.
or whatever. You know, aquascaping. You don't have to pull both tops out.
And they're all recessed in. That's my favorite option, is that it's recessed into the top so it sits flush. It's not sitting on top. It actually sits in a custom cutout portion. That's why this can sit in there. And this is, if I remember right, this is not acrylic. This is Lexan.
Yeah, this is Lexan,
Yeah.
and it is the right material for lids because acrylic will stretch and
Yeah.
take a set, and it'll be like that forever. Whereas polycarbonate or Lexan, you can flex it, but it stays straight. It's just, it has a different property. It's also impact resistant. You know, they use it for, you know, jet fighter windshields and stuff like that. And
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think about that, but I know if that was in acrylic and I dropped it, I'd be sad because that much 3/4 acrylic new top's not going to be cheap.
right,
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, the big day is here. It's Monday morning, not quite 10 a.m. People are going to start showing up, and I don't know if I'm going to say a nervous wreck, but it's stressful to manage 10 plus people, an object that's essentially $15,000. Like, stuff could go wrong. It should go fine though. You know, I'm just getting ready for parking, that kind of stuff. I've got the driveway open, and so yeah, just now it's just a waiting game, and then hopefully in a few hours I'm just on cloud 9.
Traveling mountains just to find the loudest seas. to find it first, but here I am. 'Cause I've been laying under palm trees waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club.
Are we free? We are. All right. Okay, let's go down. Watch your back, fingers, all the way, all back.